By far, butter is my favourite ingredient. Let's go to the guy who makes it rock. Hey guys, we've come down here with Peppy from Peppy Say Butter. Welcome to Food to Eat, man.
Hey dude, thanks.
So butter. Butter's your passion, yeah?
Yeah, butter's where it's at for me.
Yeah. Now, where did your butter passion arrive from?
Well, it all started around end of 2009.
Right.
When it was funny because we had all this cream left over from dessert making because we had a dessert business called Homemade Fine Foods, and we had all this cream left over, and we decided, well, we're going to shut for 2 weeks. We're going to turn it into butter to preserve, so we didn't have to throw away 2.5 or 250 kilos of cream.
Wow.
So we basically tried to turn it into butter.
Okay, so that obviously ignited something in you too?
That did, yeah. It ignited something in me because then I managed to, out of 250 kilos of cream or litres of cream, I salvaged 10 kilos of butter. So it was pretty sad, and it was a very, very messy affair.
Right.
And then from the 10 kilos, I took a little bit home to my wife at the time, and she had a taste of it. I was so proud I'd made butter, wow, look, I've made butter. And she had tried it, and she thought, this is absolutely terrible. Don't ever bring this home again. So I came across a lady called Carol Willman in Victoria, and I gave her a call, and she chatted with me about it and then took me through it step by step. And then I ended up understanding that to make cultured butter, you have to culture the cream first.
So that was January 2010.
January 2010.
We're now 2012.
Yep.
2 years on from that initial spark of, hey, butter, this is me.
Butter, yep.
How have you found yourself now? How much butter do you produce maybe a week?
Well, at the moment we're producing close to 3,000 kilos of butter. Okay. So it's 6,000 litres of cream a week that we turn into sour cream or creme fraiche and we age it.
Okay.
And then churn, so it's a bigger operation than the first 10 kilos.
Yeah. So your business is an artisan business, isn't it?
It is. It's very small scale.
Yeah. Can you explain the difference between, obviously we know what big business is.
Yep.
But what to you describes an artisan business?
Well, you work by an artisan code. Firstly, that you share what you know with others.
Yes.
It's about anyone that joins you on the table can break bread with you and talk about how you make the product.
Yeah.
Artisan to me is very much about where the product comes from, how it's made, and how it integrates into your local or your community, into society.
Where do you get your creams and things from?
Well, we use 2 dairies, single origin creams, where we go straight to the dairy. One's in Picton, New South Wales, from Country Valley Dairy. Let's
talk about the process of butter. So obviously we start out with these massive amounts of cream.
Yes.
From that amount of cream, how much?
Right, so what is the process?
What's the process?
Okay, so when the cream arrives here, we like to age the cream for at least a week or 2 before we culture it.
What does that do?
That separates the fat and the protein a little bit. Okay. So when we inoculate the lactic culturing, it tastes better, we find. It just makes it taste much better at the end result. We heat up the cream to 37.5 degrees, the blood temperature of a cow. What the culture does, once you inoculate the culturing, the lactic culture eats the lactose and turns it into lactic acid. So the reason we culture is to get a flavour. Right? So the byproduct of seeking a flavour is the goodness. Once we finish culturing, it's fermented for 25 hours at that temperature between 37.5 or 40 and 20. We put it in the cool rooms at 4 degrees for another 2 weeks minimum.
Okay, and that's to age it more.
And it ages more, so the culture's still active and eating away at the lactose at a decelerated rate. So it's still culturing in effect. So after 2 weeks, we take it out and it's completely solid, and we churn it.
Right.
Now, once we churn for about 25 to 30 minutes, and the butter splits. The cream splits into butter and buttermilk.
So that's where you get your two products, the branch out.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And to your creams that you use, going back to the cream stage, do the creams you use change the flavour of the butter?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every season is different.
Is it
so
really?
you get sometimes of the year where the cream smells so bad.
Oh, really?
And it's just from what they're eating.
What they're eating, the clovers and all those things.
Yeah, and it actually smells. I think it smells bad because I just don't like that smell.
Right.
But it doesn't come out bad in the butter, but it does leave a different flavour in the butter. So it's almost like a different taint of flavour.
So you've got an artisan product that's been formed by hand, moulded by hand, packaged by hand.
Yes.
And potentially every cream that you have has a slightly different flavour and fragrance to it, doesn't it?
We're celebrating the inconsistencies of a product.
What's next for Pepe Say Butter? Do you think you're going to continue this artisan approach?
Oh, look, we'd like to stay artisan for as long as we possibly can because that's where the dream is and that's what it's all about for us.